Alright, so this is a tailpiece for Nathan's violin. Looks pretty much all factory stock here. You don't see any scrapings or anything was done. It's probably a good idea when you're tuning a tailpiece to have the E-string tuner on in place and the tail gut in place, because they'll kind of interact with the rest of the tailpiece. Of course, you want that to be a good grade of ebony. And like a lot of these parts, ideally the tone will be the same all over the surface. I think you can hear it's higher up here and lower down there. In this case, this is to be tuned to the same as the back, which is 198. Okay. And as far as where you tap, just tap along. There's a line that goes behind this string position. You just follow it down through the waist area, so it kind of makes it a little bit of a curve. Same thing here. These strings go in like that. Okay, along that line, this is the wood you're dealing with to tune the D string, and along here to tune the G string, along there for the A, and then down the side like this. Not the side, but in a little bit for the E string. And when you're doing this tuning, if you're going to scrape on the top of the wood, leave the side alone, because scraping on the side changes the frequency of the whole tailpiece. For instance, if the tailpiece is too low, in our case it's 195, so it's not a long ways off. But by taking a little bit here on the side, from the waist up, that'll raise the frequency of the whole tailpiece, and going from the waist down on the side, that'll lower the frequency of the whole tailpiece. So that's one way you can do some kind of general adjustment. And let's see how even it is. Okay, that sounds pretty even. So I think we're going to try that, see if we can't raise it up to 198. So this is the lowest side, so we're just going to find the waist acoustically. This is right here. So what we're going to do is a scrape, stopping at the waist. And that's the amount of material we're taking off. Take a little off the other side. Alright, see where we're at now. Side to side. That's better. Now let's see where we're at. And you actually measure the frequency here in the waist, where the tone kind of goes low, up. So the overtones go up. Just very slightly too low. Again, notice I'm dropping it and then picking it up on the rebound. Drop, pick up, drop, pick up. And just a very gentle tap's all that's necessary here. Okay, so there's waist. And the side. Keep it even. Okay. All right. Okay, so on these, there's two above and two below. So we're going to adjust those individually now. So let's go behind the G string in the waist. I'm tapping right at 198, which is where goal. So 198 sounds higher, means this is a little bit low. So we're going to raise the G string up, and the way you do that, going from the waist back, you want to just take wood off the top in line with the curvature behind the G string. Okay, let's see how it is now. Okay, now let's do the A string. Okay, this one's too high because the 198 sounds low. So we're going to go from the waist behind the D string, removing material here will lower it. So we're just going to lower that a little bit by at the curved side down. And you actually want this tone to be even. Actually a little bit of a higher spot right here, so we'll take a little bit off there. So let's see. Okay, hit the waist. Okay, so that bracketed. Now let's try the A string. So I go to 198 and it sounds low, means this is too high. Same thing, we'll take a little bit. So right here is a little bit of a high spot, so we're going to take wood off there first. Okay, let's hear how that is. Okay, that's even now. See, overall tone. A little lower, a little higher. Okay, so now let's try the E string. So the 198 sounds a bit high, it means this is too low. There's the waist. So it's too low. We're going from the waist in line with the curvature of the E string. I take material off here, we'll raise it. So listen. It's actually near the waist is where it's the highest. So I'll take a little bit off toward the waist and taper it up. So that part's even. So it's bracketed on each side. One sounds higher, one sounds lower. Okay, and so that's how to tune a tailpiece. Now here you might take a silk cloth and rub it briskly, something like that, to polish it back up. I'm only interested in the acoustics. You can make it pretty. I'm just trying to make it sound good. Alright, so now let's compare. This is at 176, same as the top, and this is at 198, same as the back. You can hear the frequency is different, but this one doesn't sound higher or lower. It doesn't sound, seems kind of even. They're in harmony. That's what we want. So that's the tuning of the tailpiece. You can polish that up a bit, and then you're going to have to check for the frequency, because whatever you do to polish, it's going to change.